We are live. Waiting for friends. Says there's two. Say howdy when you get on. We're up to 4. Wow, you guys must have been noticed that I scheduled this. Hey, Scott. Hey, Disguise Cards. Cool. So, Disguise Cards, I was really grateful you changed your username because I know you're Alfredo Griffin or Gibson, and I knew I would say Alfredo Griffin. And I'll forever, even just knowing that your name was Alfredo Gibson, is probably going to mess me up forever. But thank both of you for making entries. So I want to get up to at least probably 6, 7, 8, maybe 10. And maybe give away a couple Hall of Fame cards. I got some TTMs we can do. And then we'll do some randoms and give the stuff away. But you got 13 entries. Thought that was pretty awesome. So how does this time work for you guys? I figured it was still pretty early in the East and before dinner in the West. And that way we could hopefully get, I'd love to get up to 10. I think that would be a huge win. But we'll wait and see. So Scott, saw your video today. Very cool, Jeff Reardon. I'm sorry, that was a different one. Today was Roger Craig. Yeah, I agree. He was already 90 in 1989. How can he be 90 now? I just thought that was pretty funny. And some of these guys, like, they're pretty old, but you almost think they should be older even than they are. Yeah. Anyway. So, yeah, Alan, I knew you'd appreciate the hat. Dinner time in Kansas. It's always dinner time somewhere. And, hey, Alex, thanks for dropping in. And Alan, thank you both for making videos. I got 13. And I'm going to actually review sort of what you guys made your videos on here just because I like to share my own thoughts. And Roger and Charlie Huff. Long lost brothers. You know I love me some Charlie Huff. Yeah, Megan, you're welcome on the Hall of Fame lot. We're going to do some more of those, I think. If my video holds up, my live holds up, we'll give some more Huff card lots away today as part of this. And these cards I'm just not really using. And people like Hall of Fame cards for the most part. And Alan also said he liked the hat. And Pilot's hat. This is the only Major League hat to ever have something on the bill. And they called this colloquially scrambled eggs. And players were really mixed on the Pilots logos with the weird. They had airplane wings and bird wings and really goofy uniforms. And most of the players did not care for them. There are a few that sentimentally have admitted to liking the uniforms, but it's funny, you see pictures of Brewers in the 70s and you can tell that the uniforms were repurposed because the Pilots didn't know they were moving to Milwaukee until like right before the season started, and they had to send the trucks, they were on their way to Seattle, send them to Milwaukee, and they have ladies ripping the letters and names off the Pilots uniforms and sewing on, Milwaukee across the front instead of Seattle. And that's why they look so repurposed, is because that's exactly what they were. But anyway, yeah. Oh, the moths got to your hat. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. That happens. I've lost some good stuff to moths. We're up to 6. What should we do first? I could do my TTMs in my mail for the last couple days. We could do a Hall of Fame lot. Or we could talk about the trees and think about drawing or whatever. What do you guys think? No Pirates pillbox hat. Yeah, for sure. I like the Pirates hat with the stars on them, with the star jewel. Those are pretty cool. Those are pretty classy. And the yellowy orange full body, Kent Colve with the pillbox hat. It's just so that's a thing of beauty. Thing of beauty for sure. But I saw who had a Zombie Collector did a live stream last week. It was right before I did mine when I was testing this. And he had a hat that said, "I heart Kent Colve." Thought, oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I'd asked him where he got it. It was at a thrift shop or something in Pittsburgh. He was visiting a friend. And that's a cool hat, man. I would love that hat. Yeah. Okay, let's do a Hall of Fame lot. I'm not getting any feedback on what you guys want to do. I know there's a delay here. By the way, how's my stream quality? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Am I streaming cleanly? Give me scale 1 to 10. 10 is awesome stream. 1 is you won't even be able to give me a 1 because it's so bad. Just a couple people. JR says clap, clap. Okay, it looks good. So if I should lose the stream or whatever, then I'll just do this offline and upload it. It'll be a separate video. Of course, I don't want to do that, but that's how we'll do it. Okay. I would like, if you're interested in getting some free cards of Hall of Famers, you're going to pick a number. I'm going to give you a range here in a minute. Pick a number between 1 and 200. So this is for, you can stop rating me for the video quality. It looks pretty good. So this is to win free Hall of Fame cards giveaway. So we're going to put start here. Okay, start entering numbers between 1 and 200. Enter some guesses. One number. You don't get to put 5 things in. Red Wings says 97. Baseball Card Chronicles 99 in the house. Thank you for making a video. I really enjoyed it. Baseball card, you just got here. Pick a number between 1 and 200. I'm going to give away some Hall of Fame cards before the actual giveaway for the people that made videos, such as yourselves. So good. I see you got 15. Reindeer Studios 1. Could be 1. Why not? I just lost the place of where I had this card. Oh, there, I found it. Okay. I get playing with stuff. Let's go about 30 more seconds. Red Wings is in. Chronicles, Disc, Alfredo, thank you. Alex, Reindeer Studios. JR says 177. Got 8 people in the room. If you were a part of the 2 videos where I was testing this, I really appreciate that. I wanted to do this for a long time, and I had this. I bought this camera called Jellycomb, and I tried to actually record some videos with it, and it was just garbage. There was this huge leg, and I never got it to work. So I did some sample testing. I set it to private and did some live streams. Well, that seems like it might work. So after a couple test rounds, you saw I got it pretty good now. My only concern is that my connection will drop, but right now it looks pretty strong. Okay, 10 seconds to enter a number between 1 and 200. If you have not yet, in 5, 4, I cannot count and type at the same time. 3, 2, 1, closed. Okay. The number, this is a 88 Donruss, Nolan Ryan. Number 61. So who was the closest? Without going over Baseball Card Chronicles, you're going to walk away with a couple things. Now, for those of you that made videos, I mentioned this before. I'm giving something to everybody. So, Megan, gotta feed the clan. I know how that is. She hopes to come back later. Okay, so basically, I don't know if you saw this before, but I have this basically a box here of Hall of Fame cards. There's about 1,180. So I have entered into this randomizer 1 through 1,180, and I'm just hitting generate, and you might be able to see it says 218. So I go to card 218, and that's your card. So I go to the 200s. I have them marked off for convenience. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 1986 Topps Jim Rice. And we do several of these. I'm already going to send you mail. Why not do, 4, 5, 6. 441. 400. I'm going to go back to 450. Count back. 9. Hold on here. My stacks are falling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 88 Topps Ozzie Smith. Let's go again. Oops. 881 this time. 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 39, 80, 81, and that is a Glavine 89. Is that a rookie? I don't think he has an 88 score. Writing TTMs, hey, that is multitasking I can get behind. So far you got 3. Now let's do a couple more. 362. Is that from the same row that was from before? It is. So let me go back 12 from here. It's a Sandberg score Dream Team. I forget the year on that. Whoops. Okay. Let's do, what do we got here? 4. Let's do 2 more. I'm already going to be sending you a package, so we can afford to go a little bigger on this. I got to go back 27. Is this boring watching me count? Too bad. ID 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. It's another Jim Rice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the first card of the next player, and we'll go from there. So it's going to be a Ripken Stadium Club Perspectives. I think it's a Stadium Club. No. Insert. Kind of a cool shot of Camden Yards there. What do we got? We still got 8 people watching this. Cool. Okay, we're going to do one more. And then we'll do, I'll do my TTMs like I normally would. And then we'll do our drawings. I don't want to keep you all night if you don't want to be here. So I need to go back 17 into this group. Be cool to get you like a nice vintage card, but maybe that'll be like our throw-in. So this is one of those 88 score Reggie Jackson like Chronicles things. So we got that for you. That's going to be that for now. I don't forget who these cards belong to. Okay, I'm going to close this up because I'll be knocking it over when I do my mail. 2 TTMs today. And I got some other stuff here that's coming over the last couple days. I got this really cool Mike Trout 4-card lot for $325 delivered off of Sport Lots auctions. There's Adonis. This is probably my favorite one there. Heritage, always like that. Another Donruss. Optic that time. And then for my friend Alan T, who's in my Guru Baseball Autographs Facebook group, and I've known him forever because we both used to belong to this site called thebenchtrading.com. He got Jared Parker in 3 cards, and I really wanted this Heritage 86. So thanks, Boomslang. That's very nice. Michael, you didn't miss much. Anyway, I got this from him for a couple bucks. I figured save me from having to get the card and mail it out, and it was kind of a duplicate for him. So Michael Myers, do not worry about it. Boomslang, thanks. So I just gave away a couple Hall of Fame cards, and I am going over my mail right now from the last couple days. And there's 2 TTMs today, and then we're going to do our giveaway. So good stuff. This first one's from Oregon. I think I know what it is. I got some sun today. I was doing some weeding, and I put sunscreen on my face because I'm a believer. And I guess I missed my nose. Really, I didn't put a hat on. That's probably what my problem was. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can do this together here. Might be upside down or backwards. It's upside down. Okay, so Larry Colton. Actually, so I got this Don Money about 2 weeks ago, and I remember saying at the time, hey, I'm not sure if Colton signs or not or whatever. So I looked into it, and he does sign. He lives in Oregon, as you saw. And he's actually an accomplished author, and he wrote this book called Southern League, and it's about the first integrated team in the South, the Birmingham Barons, and that's the Blue Moon Odom right there. And I'm not sure who that is. That's not him. He didn't play. His first year in the minors was 65, and he started out in somewhere on the West Coast. I forgot, but he didn't play on this team. But anyway, and he's wrote several other books. And I watched an hour-long YouTube video of him giving a lecture. And at the very end, he talks about TTMers a little bit. And he talks about how people get his address from a book, and he doesn't know how they get it. And he talks about people write him and say that they're a fan of his, and he knows that's a lie because he pitched 2 innings. And hold on here. Oh, that's minor league stats. Yeah, he pitched 2 innings and then suffered a separated shoulder and never came back from it. And anyway, he talks a little bit about TTMers, and he said in the video, and I'll put it in the description later, something like, someday I'm going to find one of their addresses and come to their door and tell them to get a better hobby. So, but I rolled all that into my letter. I told him I thought he was very funny, and I told him why I did this hobby and all that. And I actually added the book to my Amazon wish list because it sounds interesting. And anyway, so that ended up being really cool. I finished off a duel, and this is a printout of the cover of the book. So he's funny. I'll share that video. And I watched the whole thing. I mean, I have a little bit of free time right now. But Orlando, Florida, feels like 2 or 3. I I think I know what this is, but I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to get check. So, ooh, that's cool. Sign the Heritage in like a silver Sharpie. Because of the black uniform. That's really cool. There's an 04. It's an all-star card, so it's presumably update. Looks nice. Here is Heritage from, was this 2018? 2019? 2019. And this is actually a mock-up of a different 1970s Topps card. Lowell somebody who wore sunglasses for the Phillies because of an eye condition. And at one point, I remember him saying that he wanted $5 for this card. I think he has since stopped asking, but I put a $5 in there anyway, just because I was getting 4 cards. And what the heck? Oh, you can see Casey's tail. That's my chocolate lab. If that looks like a chocolate lab tail, it is. Here's a nice Allen and Ginter. Of course, Pat Neshek's great friend of the hobby, collects himself. I actually sent him an extra 2014 that I had because I know he's doing that set. He actually bought a bunch off of me from sportscollectors.net, which was pretty cool. So Pat Neshek and Larry Colton, my TTMs, and I think I got you caught up on everything else I had laying around here. Trout, Parker, things like that. So are we ready? We're up to 11. Thank you, 4-Leaf. Wow, a lot of you were in here. So yeah, Boom Slang, Pat Neshek. He's without even if teams were playing, he's without a team right now. So people on sportscollectors.net were rooting for him to sign with their team so that he would be able to hit up their favorite players for their autos. But he actually did pretty good for himself, given the card that I gave him for free. This was a really good trade for him. I'm not on his – I think he has his own website or his own forum. I'm not on there, but I know that he appreciated what I gave him. So for sure. So Reindeer Scott, hit the like button. Yeah, let's do it. I already got 6 likes. That's – you know what's funny is I never notice like how many likes I have or whatever. I guess because I have no goal of making YouTube a career, I have the luxury of just doing what I want and enjoying myself, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So, and thank you for everyone that made a video. Let's go over some of the entries. There's 13 here. I'll probably go kind of fast, but I do want to recognize some of the cool videos you guys made. Just really, Baseball Card Chronicles 99. You chose Pete Gray. And that's an excellent choice. I was actually familiar with Pete Gray's story because in grade school we watched a movie about Pete Gray. I tried to look it up. The only one I found was called A Winner Never Quits. And I was really excited because my Google results said it was free on Crackle. And I clicked on it and it never loaded. So I don't know. I remember it being kind of a cheesy movie. It was released in '86. But yeah, when so many people were still away at the war in the mid-40s, teams had to resort to players they might not normally get to play, and Pete Gray was certainly one of them. But really a cool thing to be able to play Major League Ball with one hand, so with one arm rather. I'm just catching up with some of your chats here. Yeah, the Phillies just didn't re-sign him, so it happens. This guy's cards again. I don't have to worry about calling you Alfredo Griffin because you changed your name. Pat Summit, excellent choice. Had Alzheimer's. Like a lot of people, I have a very close relative that suffered from dementia, which is hand in glove with that, and it's not fun. Brandon Stebbins, Ryan Leaf. Of course, I'm really familiar with being a Washington native. really familiar with Ryan Leaf's story, except I will say I did not realize that he had sort of overcome a lot of his difficulties and sounds like he's a normal, fully functioning person now. And that's really cool. I didn't know he was doing play-by-play or analysts or analysis for anybody. Alan, I stole your Jim Eisenreich, and I forgot to make a note of what you'd ended up going with. I'm sorry. Alan, go ahead and comment if you're still in here. Was it someone had like a runner or something? Or Olympian. Billy Mills, yes. Okay, thank you. Yes, thank you. I feel bad because I actually made notes on most of these. Oh, I know what happened. I went to look at your video last night to make my notes, and I couldn't find it. Like, it was just gone. So I don't know if something happened or there's something kind of glitch on my end. But poor man Stack, George Foreman, came out of retirement at the age of 45, regained the heavyweight boxing title, and I remember that very well. I watched a lot of those matches. We had HBO at the time. I was just wrapping up high school, about that age. I lived with my parents, and anytime a George Foreman match came on, we were sure to watch it. We watched him regain the title, and that was very cool. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he has something like 7 or 8 boys, and he named them all George Foreman. Yeah. Red Wings 164. Steve Gleason, who played for the Saints, and the first game back in the Superdome after the Hurricane Katrina, blocked a punt that was returned for a touchdown and sort of galvanized, rallied the city, rechristened the stadium, if you will, and was diagnosed with ALS after that. Climbed Machu Picchu, which is actually on my bucket list. For those of you that don't know, it's sort of a lost civilization in the mountains of Peru that was rediscovered in the 60s or 70s. And he was taken up there, climbed that with some assistance. And he's still around. He's got a foundation called No White Flag Kid, and sounds like he's kicking booty. He refuses to give up. I like that. Alex Serrano, Carlos Carrasco was your choice. He overcame cancer. A lot of respect for anyone that can do that. 4-leaf cards. I've been watching a lot of your videos, even old ones. What I really appreciate about you, 4-leaf, is just you enjoying the card for what it is, and you really sort of reignited my interest in cards that a lot of people would say are junk, and I just appreciate that about you. So Rocky Blyer, yeah, thanks, Alfredo. I didn't really know about Rocky Blyer's story, but I was a Vietnam vet, lost part of a foot in his eye in the war, and had to really try extra hard to become a NFL star. And actually ordered a couple cards last night because I'm gonna teach them. That was a great story. Meg TT Hobbies. Tamika King's where I start. I mean, I started writing down her accomplishments on the back of this card, and I ran out of room. I had big gold medals, finals in V6, and I can tie my own shoes. Rear Studios. Really love the tour of Akron, and just learning about some of the things that LeBron has done for Akron. The I Promise School sounds really cool. A lot of people need that, especially in areas like that. And I'm waiting on that Krispy Kreme in the mail. Still haven't seen it. It was Curtis Pride, another player that was born without hearing and made it all the way to the show. And can you imagine so much of baseball, crack of the bat and cheer the crowd, and you think about how much you really depend on your hearing, like when you're doing any sport, and yeah, I mean, those people have to work harder. I'm really impressed that they're able to do that. Douglas Beatty, Jake the Snake Roberts, had a horrible childhood. No one should have to endure. Since then, he battled drugs and suicide and everything else, but was able to overcome that. And actually saw a really good interview on YouTube with him on like the Howard Stern show about 6 months ago. And so I knew about a lot of that stuff, but nobody should have to deal with this thing. Should I do it? Should I do the Don Pardo voice? Michael Myers. So, Michael, you did a video on Carl Cochran, who was a high school wrestler who was in a horrible, I don't remember if it was a bike riding accident or like a motorcycle accident, but he hit like a old ramp or something and went flying. Sounds like he was on life support for a while and came back and returned and you know you want, they'll make more. Okay, so are we ready? Let me get my tablet open here. I'm not an Apple guy, so it takes a while to, hopefully I can do this and not drop it. Ooh, is my connection going bad? I just saw a little thing up here. Hopefully not. We're going to move fast just in case. Here we go. Good luck, everybody.